Two bears, one cave.
You know, they're not always great or whatever.
College gigs?
Yeah. But you know how sometimes shit, like you think you've pretty much seen it all.
Yeah.
And then some shit happens and you're like, God. So anyway, I'm at the college and it's not set up ideally for comedy because it's in an auditorium.
Okay.
It's like socially distant, so it's like all the space between people, and it's, you know, big ass stage, big loud speaker, and the school went out of their way to make it was great, but the crowd was the worst crowd. Like these kids, they were giving me nothing. Tom.
It's the worst.
Like
the worst.
And like, you know how they say the opposite of love isn't hate, it's indifference.
Yes.
That's what it was. It was like I would rather them boo me.
Yeah.
But they were just like disinterested. Like,
yeah.
It was almost like they were being forced to be there, right?
It's why it's the only, like, for people not in comedy, usually what happens is in a college, generally speaking, is you get paid more to do a college show than you would, let's say, just a one-off show at a club or something. And then people go like, why? You know, there's a whole reason why, but it's what you think about when you're going, this sucks.
Oh, right. You think about, but I need a check.
Yeah, like I'll get a check though, at least, you know.
But all those things have happened to me before.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So anyway, how
many people are there at the show, you think?
I would say it was probably about 40 people in a space that could have fit maybe 300 people.
Okay.
And
just out of the gate, nothing.
and it's echoey, so it makes the bomb even more.
Oh, you feel it, yeah.
And so luckily I'm not the headliner, right? I'm doing 25 or something, and I'm about 15 minutes in. I've got nothing the whole time, and finally I just go, you know what? Fuck all of y'all. Fuck you people. You up in here looking at me like you know, I'm not impressed with y'all either. You know what I mean? And that gets a little bit of a laugh, right? Yeah. And then from the back of the room, someone goes, "You're no Steve Harvey." Right. And I don't know if that's an insult or a compliment, right?
It's a strange reference
right.
for the situation.
Right. Like were you expecting Steve Harvey? How is that the comedian that you know?
That you're talking about right now?
Right. And I started talking shit to this kid. And I'm like, yo, fuck you, blah, 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 blah. And then I realized, oh, this is the one white kid that goes to this black school. It wasn't a black school like a HBCU, but it was like, the audience was like 80% black, right? Okay. And this one white kid is talking.
That actually changes a lot of this story.
It does.
Yeah.
Cause then I'm like, kid, you think because you came to college, now you getting some black pussy, you just talk shit to people? Right? And I was like, I bet your Millie Rock soggy as hell, right? Millie Rock's a dance, right? Uh-huh. Then he stands up and hits the crispiest Millie Rock I ever seen in my life.
Really? Yeah.
Right? Gets an uproarious applause, right?
From the crowd.
Wow. And I'm like, that's okay, that was impressive, but wow, what's up with this? That's extra. Y'all get a little extra on it. Yeah. And he gets done his dance and he puts his hand out like this, like as if he's challenging me, like it's a movie.
Yeah, yeah.
And I can't dance. So I'm like, come up to the stage. Because I'm like, my only chance is because he's in the back, right? My only chance is to scan him on his way up here so I can roast the shit out of him.
Yeah.
And he gets halfway up the aisle and steps into the light. And then I realize he's retarded. Because his walk is very, you know the walk, right? And now I've just put myself in the worst, because now it all makes sense. They're going to cheer for everything he does and give me groans for anything I say. And so it was the first time I've ever like really just been defeated by him. Like straight up finish him.
So wait, when he comes in the light, are you like, hey? Are you like quiet?
No, I was like... I was like, oh no, why did y'all do this? Why did y'all do this?
And are the kids like, are they like?
Yeah, because you know, the worst thing in the world for any comic is for the crowd to be in on something that you're not.
Oh yeah.
For them to have a joke amongst them and it's on you. Then you can't recover from that.
There's nothing like, because you know what it feels like? It feels like you are being mocked.
Right.
Like I remember doing, this is like, I don't even know if you call it a bringer show, like open mic style, maybe a bringer show, Cat Club, early 2000s. And like, just being on stage doing like, I only had, my 10, 15 minutes. Like that's all I had.
Right.
So that's what you would do. And just hearing an audience person go like, like good one, like that shit. And you're like, oh, like feeling mocked by the person like that. And it's such a small room that like, the other 11 people heard it. You know what I mean? You're just like, God damn. And you try to say something back, but you're also like, I don't even have much.
No,
like, at that point,
nothing.
I got nothing. But that situation it's hard to.
Man, no, but you know what? I'm like, I can't roast this kid. Blah, blah, blah,
Yeah.
But then I get off stage, and I don't know if he wants me to say who he was, but the headliner was like, I was like, hey man, yeah, you saw the situation. Like I was stay away from him. He was like, I don't give a fuck. What's wrong with him? I'm a roast the shit out of this.
Really?
Yeah, man, and he did.
He did?
He did.
What kind of shit was he saying about it?
I don't know because I left the room.
You
I was
left,
like, I'm defeated.
Yeah.
I'm defeated. I left the room, and when I came back, he was doing pretty good. Not like, still the crowd was still that crowd.
Yeah.
But it was like.
And he was a white kid though.
Yeah.
And he really could hit that.
And you know what's so fucked up is I saw him. It was like a scene in a movie. I saw him on my way in the university.
Yeah.
Yeah, because his walk is unrecognizable, right? And I saw him like running across the street with like a clipboard, and I was like, "Oh, look, they gave the kid like a task. Like it's probably nothing on that clipboard. You know what I mean?" Right. And I had no idea in a million years that it was him though.
Right.
Yeah,
you ain't no Steve Harvey. That's still amazing.
Right. Because that's like that autism.
But that means you know that he watches fucking Family Feud for sure.
Or he watches the same Steve Harvey set over and over.
Yeah, on YouTube, just over and over.
Yeah. Steve, you ain't even old enough to have seen Steve Harvey do stand up.
Like he's in college.
Kings of Comedy?
I'm telling you, I bet it's Family Feud, man. Because that seems like a special show too, like something that people could just sit around and be like, "Dude, I watched 13 episodes of Family Feud."
Family Feud's like easy Jeopardy, like for the watcher.
Yeah, for sure.
You could be not that smart and be like, eggs.
Bert and Tom and Bert. One goes topless while the other wears a shirt. Tom tells stories and Bert's the machine. There's not a chance in hell that they'll keep it clean. Here's what we call two bears, one cave.